forgot how exhausted shunting can make an engine.
I wouldn't settle down just yet, Boston.
Wouldn't settle down just yet? Take it you won't be coming to my wedding then.
Your wedding? Didn't think you and Joanna had tied the knot already.
This means I have to deal with those flatbeds that have the brakes locked on really hard, I suppose. Oh, poo. I said poo, not bah. Wait a minute, where'd that noise come from?
Oh, it's a little sheepy. And just what are you doing out here, you poor little dear?
It's a sheep, not a deer. If it's a super sheep that can help me do the shunting, I'll happily bring it home with me.
Oi! Oi! There'll be no taking sheep home, thank you. Fluffles, as he's actually called, belongs to me, if you don't mind.
He belongs to you? Thanks for your assistance. Not every day you see a sheep so close to the...
Get off me, Fluffles! Stay back, foul specimen!
I beg your pardon?
You were gonna kidnap him and take him away with you, weren't you?
Did I say that? No, Mr. Farmer, I was only joking.
And it might amaze you to discover I don't do jokes. You are raving mad. You'll get your comeuppance one day. Mark my words. Ugh.
That was harsh.
No wonder he's a farmer. He's really got a bee in his bonnet, hasn't he, Supervisor?
That'd make him a beekeeper, Boston, my lad.
Hello. You know what, Diesel, you just saw there? We're doing the job my cousins used to do. Oh, really? What do your cousins do now? Counting the daisies popping beneath their wheels at Woodham Scrapyard, what else? Oh, really? How exhilarating. So awkward, Barry, honestly.
Excuse me? You're Barry, aren't you?
At last, saved by a train spotter. Yes, I'm Barry. I don't believe it.
Barry! How have you been? It's been about 5 years since I last saw you.
I'm so sorry. Barry cannot answer the phone right now. Please hang up and never dial again.
Don't you remember me, Barry? You look like you've seen a ghost.
To be honest, I'd rather see a ghost. Do I remember you? Only too well. Why are you here, Bolton Barkington? What possibly possessed you to approach me? How'd you find me anyway?
You'll find out in time, Barry. All I'll say is I've got permission from the station master to ride on your footplate. I need it for the film I'm working on.
Ride on my footplate for a film? Any second now I'll wake up and reality will go back to normal, I hope.
Yes, it'd be really handy to have some footage of an engine's controls. It's in the script.
If I had a mother, I'm sure she'd have told me there'd be days like these.
I truly love the scenery of the Appy Valley. You're lucky to live on a line with such wonderful views as these.
You've only been on the line for 5 minutes. You don't get to talk about my current life, not after our last time together.
Oh, come now, Barry. We enjoyed working on that film.
You and whoever was none the wiser enjoyed it.
Remember when... what's his name? Oh, Daniel Curtis showed up to set with his hair shaved off when the script demanded he grew a mullet.
Oh yes, and what about the love triangle between the main character, the love interest, and the locomotive,
It was original.
Sod your originality. I'd rather drink liquid mustard than do that.
This must be Lowley Station, where the line to the coal mine goes, right? Barry, look. It's been 5 years since we worked on that film. I'm a changed man now. I was only starting back then. Of course I wasn't going to be cream of the crop.
You didn't have to be cream of the crop, you just needed to not be a complete fool. If this wasn't a passenger train, I'd have gone on strike.
I have grown from making that film, the same way you have grown from, well, whatever you would have been 5 years ago.
If I'd grown, Barkington, the loading gauge would have come knocking on my door years ago.
I have been picked to help make a documentary about railways in the West Midlands, and so I've decided to film a small section for it on the Appy Valley. It is one of the most prestigious branch lines in the whole country, what with being one of the core sources of coal and all that.
Can I be in it? You could interview me, you know. Just need to think of a few things to say, that's all. Well, I could talk about, my days at Bromsgrove.
You could tell him about Shindig. He was a funny one. He was both a coach and a rail car.
Don't tell him anything, Boston. That's exactly what he wants.
Never you worry, Mr. Barkington. You could always count on me to liven it up a bit. I can recall many funny times on the railway, and some not so funny times. I could also give you a performance of I Like Bananas Because They Have No Bones. You ever heard that one before? Cracking song, that.
Please do, Boston. It'd be better than anything else he's after.
I'm staying at a hotel in the town for a few days, so I'll muse it over and come back tomorrow to work things out. In the meantime, I'll be filming other sites around the area too. Helps to film too much rather than too little, you know. Good night, all.
And good riddance.
Gordon Bennett, why do you hate Mr. Barkington so much, Barry? He seems like a sound person to me. You're being a little rude, in my opinion.
He is a sound person, Bunker. He's all sound. It goes back to his days on the film, Bunker. Look, Barry, you don't have to do anything that takes you out of your comfort zone if you don't want to. It is just a documentary, after all.
But I still don't know about the true story of your film. If you'd be willing to tell me, Barry, that is.
Nothing to tell, Bunker. It was insufferable. A truly low-grade B film. B isn't that low of a grade. Shush! It was back when I used to work around Oswestry. Bolton approached me and asked if I would like to take part in a film he was making called Steamed Up. Simple comedy film. I thought he was decent, and so did my controller. I got quite excited. Me, out of all the hundreds of other engines, up there on the screen and people paying by the penny to see me, it meant the world. It wasn't what I'd cracked it up to be, though.
Why?
Bolton Barkington was, actually, a very different man to when I'd met him. Very different. It struck me the moment I arrived on set, but I had agreed to be in the film after all. But instead of feeling like one of the cast, I felt like a stranger. The moment it really hit home was when Bolton himself said to me that I was going to be the thing that got bums on seats. The thing that gets bums on seats? Are you sure this was a general audience film? As for the film, it was a sham of the highest degree. Corny dialogue, terrible action, atrocious storyline. It was, to put it bluntly, average. Bolton was such a bad director that he didn't take into consideration the reflections in the coach windows, revealing the whole film crew, spoiling the scene. Bolton couldn't direct coal into the firebox, let alone a big budget production. I never wanted to see him again after we'd wrapped. I saw things I couldn't unsee. It felt like I'd been cheated, lied to even. Seeing him again has brought everything back.
I understand, Barry. If it helps, it's all in the past, and, well, I wouldn't know for sure, but Bolton seems like a different man now.
It's a facade, Bunker. He should be an actor. They're really good at lying for a living. Barry, you do you. I'm not gonna judge. To change the subject, I seem to be really popular around here, don't I? First I got bad-mouthed by Mr. Strava, then by that one dad who accused me of being like Tommy Cooper, Seriously, that was an honour. What, being compared to Tommy Cooper? Oh, absolutely, Barry. Tommy Cooper's a comedic genius. You're leagues apart, Boston. And today I got bad-mouthed by a farmer who couldn't look after his own sheep. Oh, I've got my fans, haven't I? You must really hate your supporters if they're your fans. Brilliant. What's going on here? A convention or something? What is this? Who are... Oh, Mr. Strava. I might have guessed you'd be behind this. Barrackers? That is not Boston.
I can see that, you dolt.
Then where is it? You said he'd be at the front of this train.
I said he might be.
What on earth's going on?
Search me, SV. Would you kind fellows care to explain why you're holding up my train? Are you familiar with a tank engine of very little brain? Boston, yes, why?
We came to unleash an ambush on him today. He was gonna steal one of my sheep yesterday.
He did mention a farmer last night. Boston's a menace to Bridgedown, and he traumatised my horse. Make no mistake, he probably traumatises everyone he meets. Look, I'm sure you'd all love to have Boston hung, drawn and quartered for whatever heinous crimes he's supposedly committed, but I still have a train to pull, thank you.
Aha! You must know him, surely? Bring him to us, and we'll let you go. How's that?
What a difference a day makes. I didn't think I'd be dealing with ransom when I woke up this morning. Look, Boston might be a bit odd, sometimes, often, but he is a nice engine. I'm sure you two can sort it out with him civilly.
What's all the racket? Why have we stopped?
Barkington? What's he doing here? Never mind. Nothing much, Barkington. Just a pair of cretins blocking the line, like children.
We'll give 'em what for. I have a camera and I'm not afraid to use it.
Brilliant! You can film them to death. That'll work.
That man's got a camera. He could have been filming us the whole time.
So what if he has?
He could use it as police evidence. Then we'll get sent down for trespassing. Trespassing, I tell you.
You're so weak, Barackers. Alright then, we'll move. Next time, dummy, we'll get Boston with a catapult and a boulder, alright?
I have to say, it was very smart how you got Mr. Strava and that farmer to flee the scene, Mr. Barkington.
Smart? Hardly. My camera was switched off when it happened.
Still, it was a good ruse. Sounded like they just tucked tail after you whipped it out, like.
Those bunch of dipsticks. If they wanted to target me, they know right where to come and find me. I think if they did, my train wouldn't have arrived at the junction half an hour late, would it? All the same, it might not have gotten there at all had things been like they are normally. Thanks for helping me out there, Barkington.
No worries, Barry. I know I can't change the past, but... does this mean we're square now?
Nope, means you're both cuboid. Why not then? It's the past. Can't change it. As long as you don't mess anyone around in the future, it's fine by me.
I presume you still don't want to be in my documentary.
No thanks. I wouldn't mind having a transportation credit though.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Hey, Mr. Barkington, if you're in need of another interviewee, you could always go and talk to my friend Crawley at the junction. He's the Welsh storyteller. He likes telling stories, you'd be there all day, and all night if he had his way. And if you're planning on talking to Otto, he'd break your camera on the spot.